The broad theme of, if you go beyond the headline numbers, I think the broad theme of the economic survey is that either do significant reforms or else we are in deep trouble. As far as GDP growth is concerned, he has broadly agreed indirectly with the CSO estimate, which raised so much of controversy with the Finance Ministry itself objecting to the CSO projections. He is broadly indirectly accepted that the CSO may be on the right track. But having said that, he has also painted an optimistic picture, but he has given a very broad range, 6.1 to 6.7. Now, this is quite unique. Normally, you don't get such wide range in surveys. He is also talking about a shift from consumption to investment. Now, as you know, that the way corporate sector has been moving, I mean, their net profit has actually halved from the first quarter to second quarter. So, the survey is essentially talking about that there is a need for greater investment in the economy, in infrastructure especially, and they have painted some alarming pictures about infrastructure. I think these are the broad themes of the economic survey this time. This is the first time Mr. Rajan has devoted a full chapter on jobs. And his introduction to the entire survey actually talks about, he posed a question that ultimately whatever growth and all you talk about, the youth of India is asking the question, where will my job come from, then my next job. Now, employability has been an issue which everybody talks about, but the survey actually drives home the point that we have reached a point, unless there is a concerted effort by everybody, the state government, the center and the private sector, to bridge the skill gap, we are in for deep trouble. In the backdrop of tomorrow's budget, where everybody is talking about all kinds of things about a super rich tax and whether it will come on 10 lakh or 1 crore, nobody knows about it, but an excise duty hike. So in that context, at least the chief economic advisor is giving a point to the government that higher tax to GDP ratio need not come only from by hiking tax rates, direct or indirect. It can also come by broadening, for which tax administration is the key. Economic survey has made a very significant point. It is saying that there is a limit to the risk tolerance of global investors. By saying that, he is also saying, sending a signal that if global investors can wait up to a point, but you cannot take them for granted. In fact, he said that external environment cannot be taken for granted. So, if you have to keep FII faith, if your focus is on increasing FII flows, you also have to give something in return. All this uncertainty about Vodafone and all that background that you know, he's talking in terms of removing those the irritants which could affect FII flow. He's also perhaps hinting at removing some, and we could expect that in the budget, about removing some of the anomalies as far as the tax treatment of FII is concerned. In August, for example, and no one had any hope, no one could even imagine that in the next 3 months, the finance minister will do something which none of us thought about. So, I think that is what the cue that Mr. Rajan has taken, and he is essentially banked heavily on the fact that the government will do something, which it need not be a very big bang thing, it may be muted, but at least we have reason for hope. And I think that is the message of the survey that Mr. Rajan has given.